Hey everyone, and I guess welcome to home church. I know that I'm not necessarily in the same home that you are right now, but please know that as we're sitting there and over there in our worship location, we're definitely thinking about you guys and fully supportive of everything that's going on here. Charlene told me to keep things very brief, so I'm going to do my absolute best. But I did just want to make certain to take this opportunity to just thank you guys for responding to a calling that God put on your lives to pursue this home church type model, and kind of go down this path. This is something that I know, as Pastor Doug and I have been talking about, we have been extremely passionate about trying to find different ways of being able to express what different people know of this church, and what you guys are doing is a very critical part of that. So thank you for doing that. So with that, I will shut up and at least just kind of get into what the actual message is, and we'll be able to pause throughout this, and that way you guys in your group can talk, and you can kind of take it in whatever direction you want to go in. This week, what I want to talk about is time and location. Basically, if you think about it, God uses time and location throughout the Bible to come together in order to be able to do remarkable things. Doug last week talked about the story of the woman at the well, and if you're familiar with the story, or you've gone back and you've looked at it already, then you know that this is a basically kind of happenstance situation where Jesus and the Samaritan woman came together under unusual circumstances, and we'll put just a few of those on the screen, and you can pause and look at those if you want, or you can just keep on going. So that being said, you see this throughout the Bible many times. And what I want to do is I want you guys to take a look at a few different instances in the Bible where time and location became a special part of what God wanted to do. How was God able to use both the timing and the location of these events that you see and be able to do something that basically move forward the story of the gospel? So go ahead and take some of the things you see on your screen right now, pause the video, and go ahead and talk about some of those. So as you went through those different examples of where the timing and the location of these events throughout Jesus' life occurred, you're able to see how God brings people together in certain places where they are in certain ways, that things can happen that can very easily be dismissed as maybe just coincidence or happenstance. But in reality, you start piecing it together and seeing it's part of this bigger plan. And that's so often how God ends up actually acting in our own lives. You'll hear a little bit more about that if you end up going back and listening to the sermon that we ended up giving. But that being said, I wanted you to just go through one more final thing. So if you look in the book of Acts, you're going to see this interaction between Philip and an individual who came out of Ethiopia. And I'll put the scriptures that are up here relative to this particular story. So I want you to take a look at that and take a look at, how the time and location of where Philip was and how he got there ended up being used for something that was great. Now that you've talked a little bit about Philip, you probably saw that very last bit right there. This awesome moment where the individual is basically saying, I have heard the word and I understand the word, and then tells Philip and says, look, I see some water. Why can't I be baptized? And he was baptized right there. And so I guess the only encouragement that I would give to you very briefly is, don't let there ever be something where you're looking for the right moment, because the reality is that God is not just the God of matter and things we can touch and hold. He's the God of time and space. He's the God who puts us in places where he needs for us to be. And you're here right now in this home church. So think about what God wants you to do where you are right now, with the people that you're around, even if you're in quarantine, with your circumstances. What does God want to do with you where you are right now? Because God can use you in the time and in the location that you are at right now. So thank you for joining me. I hope you guys were able to get something out of home church. I look forward to hearing more about it. And God bless until we see you again.